came live because I brought a special guest. And the reason why I brought this special guest is because we share some common viewpoints. However, we're on two different sides of the spectrum. You see, she reached out to certain individuals on the topic at hand, thinking she would get a resolution. But from what I observed, it's the selective hypocrisy that got me confused out here. People not realizing how this shit is way bigger than R. Kelly. There's real girls out here missing. There's real girls out here getting involved in strange activities. And though some may be willing, let's look at this on a greater perspective. The same way I side eyed the savages coming out doing all this extra stuff in the beginning is the same reason why I couldn't get with none of the people they linked with to push their agenda. So no matter what you believed, what conspiracy you thought was real, who you believe knows more than this person, it don't change the fact that Prima Donna has always been the one challenging everybody watching to do your own research, to get your own understanding so that you can get a better scope of what I see going on this internet. With that being said, I'm going to let my guest introduce herself. She's going to tell you her story, and we're going to go from there because I don't like people playing both sides. And even though I see people can be cordial with people who are against Robert Kelly and then come back over here and keep up a lot of confusion. And then you got those people still straddling the fence, and they've always missed the very important things that I've said from the beginning when it comes to these people surrounding Robert Kelly. So, with that being said, let's go ahead. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself? What would you like to be called by?
Yes, hi. Can you hear me? Can- Is my mic? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
First of all,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Is there echo? Okay. I want to first just start by saying thank you for allowing me to even come on to your channel. Um, I can show my face for a moment for people to know that I am, a mother in search of my child, and to kind of put a face with the voice. I have no problem with doing that just in the beginning, um, if you want me to do that. Okay. For some reason, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Okay,
I have
so I have
no
no
problem at
problem at
all
all
with
with
showing my
showing my
face for a
face for a
moment.
moment.
Let me see. Now it was kind of sideways when I was in the back of the studio. Okay, so it's kind of sideways. I don't know why it's that.
One second, y'all.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just gonna mute when you speak because they said it's an echo when my mic is on.
Okay, so I did want, I was going to show my face, but for some reason I'm sideways and I don't want it to be that way. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you all thank you, Prima Donna, for allowing me to be on your platform. I'm a little nervous because, it's not easy. Um, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy and it's emotional. But my story is my name is Miss Battle. I'm a mother who's been in search of my daughter for the past 6 years in the Chicagoland area. I have been trying to get the help just like other parents, but for some reason my story has been gone by the wayside because she's over the age of 18. However, there are just too many coincidences to this story when it comes to R. Kelly. Now, as Prima Donna has just said in the beginning, yes, we are on different sides. However, where we come together is we both want the truth. And the truth, it starts with people coming together, regardless to what side you're on. I'm a mother searching for my daughter, and I have reason to believe she got caught in this network here. However, Prima Donna, she's fighting for the truth when it comes to R. Kelly. And with that being said, I don't understand that fighting amongst all of the different bloggers if everybody's just trying to come to the to get to the truth. With that being said, because I don't want to kind of go on and on, I want to get just to the point.
Okay, pause right there.
Yes.
From my perspective, when it comes to all of the back and forth between the bloggers, it
Yeah.
stems between a lot of people trying to hide things from the
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
And the problem I have with that is y'all can't keep coming out here talking about this person, this person, this person, and
Yeah.
we're not talking about other people that should be at the front stage.
Yes. Yes. I agree. I agree. Well, when it comes to my story, there's so many like twists and turns to it. And as I told Prima Donna before, I feel like I'm living a twilight zone here. I'm somewhere I never thought that I would be. So my daughter, she attended UIC. She was a student at UIC. However, I kind of feel like this goes back before she started UIC, but I don't have 100% proof of that. All I can say is when I noticed a change in my daughter's behavior. But when my daughter was in like grammar school, high school, I had a family member. So Prima Donna, if you don't mind, it was a picture that you shared on your channel. You mean on your, yes, you just shared. And I would like for your audience to kind of follow me through this picture, if you don't mind sharing it. So as I tell my story, they can kind of follow, they can kind of see the images and the people who I'm talking about. Yes, that's it. So I was going to actually be doing a video on my new channel because I'm not into the social media, but I was going to be coming out telling my story on my channel. And tonight I'm just going to tell it here. So I used to allow my daughter to visit my cousin who lived in this building. As you can see, this building that I put here in this image, you can see the W Hotel. You can see that brown building that's a little shorter. It says the old Playboy building. And next to that is where my cousin lived. So my daughter used to visit there often. I don't know how, because my daughter was a loner. So I just don't remember how, like, my cousin asked for her to go over if my daughter asked, and my daughter was kind of a loner. Well, in that same building is where Don Russell lived. He um, confirmed it when he was on Choke No Joke channel. So Don Russell lived in that building as well, unbeknownst to me. In addition to Don Russell living in that building where my cousin lived, um, the attorney that was walking with Joycelyn but the picture that's in the bottom right, it may be left on your, from where you all see it, but that attorney, she lived in that building as well. Lindsay Perryman Dunn at the top, as you can see, she used to allegedly, based upon what was shared with me, visit that attorney quite often that lived in that same building. The second picture, so you see Don Russell is at the top because Don Russell lived in that building. Lindsay Perryman Dunn is right across from Don Russell because she used to visit the attorney quite often. The young lady up under Don Russell with the cigar in her mouth, That was a friend of my cousin, whom I never met, and she started coming around in 20. Yes, you want me to stop? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
While you're right there, I just wanted to put a side note because there's a lot of people out here that think that bloggers were inserting Don and doing the most with Don. And from my perspective, it just seemed like the more he kept coming out here putting information out, it triggered people like you, correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay, go ahead.
yes. So the young lady that's under the picture of Don Russell is a friend of my cousin. And my cousin says she met the young lady in 2017. I don't know how true that is because a lot of things that I have come to find has been some lies when it comes to my own family. So she said that's her friend. So her name is Rakaya. So one thing about me, I don't hold back names because I believe that the truth will be told when people is able to connect the names with the faces. So I don't hold back names. So her name is Rakaya. Next to Rakaya, as you all know, that is Lily Alicia Evans, who was the person that watched over the girls, R. Kelly's god sister. Now, I do not know this woman personally, but when I sat at the R. Kelly's trial, the Chicago trial, I did see her. She was there on a regular basis, and I did go up to her and ask her, did she know, did she know anything about any young ladies? And in the first thing she got offended and said, I don't know nothing about no girls. Come to find out, that was a lie. You used to watch over the girls. So that was a lie. The next picture up under,
So pause right there.
mm-hmm,
Lily, that is YDK. We're gonna put names out here in perspective tonight.
mm-hmm.
YDK Lily, that's her, right? The
Yes,
one that's been on these platforms with the
yes,
supporters, right?
yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yes. So the third row, that's my daughter Mia, who I used to allow to visit my cousin Larissa. My cousin Larissa is much younger than I, and for some reason I never even realized how much younger she was than I. But when it comes to family, you think family, that's family. Family got your back. Family is a protector. So again, that's my daughter Mia. Next to across from that picture is my cousin Larissa in the back and her friend, the one with the cigar in her mouth in the front. So I got that picture off of social media. Below that picture there is the picture of Don Russell, the attorney, and two, who is that? Ashriel Joycelyn. And I cannot confirm this. Now, everything I'm saying is factual, but there's one thing I'm going to just say. I cannot confirm for sure. Now, when I saw this in 2020, if you make the picture bigger, the the person, the young lady by the exit sign on the bottom of the court picture, if you make it bigger, when I saw that picture, I said, that's my daughter. And that was in 2020. And that right there, I saw that in 2020. And
Right here.
yes, and I said that was my daughter. But I cannot confirm because the picture is kind of blurry. And someone sent me the people that was at the courthouse and everything. And
Mhm.
from that distance, I could not say that that was her. But when I saw that picture, a mother knows her child. And I said that was my daughter. Well, getting back to my story, we're tying in because a person can, people can say, well, you know what? People can live in the same building. That's a high-rise building. It's just so happened that Don Russell lived in that building. So happened that the attorney lived in that building. So happened that um, um, Lindsay Perriman Dunn used to visit the attorney quite often. Now the question is this: when I think about the person who told me that Lindsay Perriman Dunn used to visit the attorney quite often, how would they know that Lindsay Perriman Dunn used to visit the attorney quite often unless they was at the attorney's home as well, apartment as well, quite often? So I just want to say that. Now, what ties my cousin, and the reason I bring up her friend Rakaya, because since my daughter has been gone, I have been pleading, asking her and my cousin, do you know anything? Since my daughter was coming around you, did she tell you anything? It took 2 years, 2 years for my cousin Larissa to come out and tell me that her and her friend Rakaya, whom she says she met in 2017, went down to the attorney's apartment, the attorney that's walking with Joycelyn apartment, and dyed her hair. Hmm. That's kind of strange to me. So you telling me this is, I'm saying, when I say you, I'm talking, I'm just speaking
Mhm.
aloud. I'm my cousin, who my daughter who used to visit often up until college, had a connection with the attorney that's walking with Joycelyn, whose family is pleading for her, and I'm pleading for my daughter, who has that same behavior, to whereas I haven't heard from her in 6 years. April 26th makes 6 years since I seen or heard from my only daughter, Mia. The same thing that Joycelyn is saying, that she don't want to have anything to do with her mother and father, is the same thing I'm being told when it comes to my daughter, Mia. Now, Mia and I were close. Mia doesn't come from a family where where there was drugs in the house, where she was in here getting beat. Yes, as a mother, yes, I discipline. What parent don't discipline? Because you got to teach your kids that you raise your kids to stand for something, or they'll fall for anything. So when I look at the behaviors of my daughter too, walking around with her, she have her head down, the sweatpants. I'm going to skip over some things because I find that when you share certain things with the public, and this is emotional, we're fighting for our daughters, you get attacked for wanting to tell the truth. But the question is, why was my cousin Larissa and her friend at the attorney's apartment, whom Joycelyn is walking with? Why would my cousin, my younger cousin, had told me when I asked them from the beginning, when I was asking my family, do anybody know anything? Did my baby tell y'all anything? Because sometimes when you allow your child to visit a family member, or like if they're close with a cousin or aunt or something, or sister, or your sister, they tend to talk to them a little bit more, or may tell them certain things. So I asked my cousin, did my baby tell you anything? Did my baby do something or go somewhere when she was supposed to be at your house and you didn't tell me? And she said no. I said, do you know R. Kelly? I just came out and asked her. No, no, R. Kelly. Do you know anybody who know R. Kelly? No, I don't. But yet and still 2 years later, I found out that you was at the attorney's apartment who Joyce was walking with. See, the thing is this: when there's one lie, there's two. When there's two, there's three. I am originally from the west side of Chicago. My cousin Larissa is from the west side of Chicago as well. Don Russell is from the west side of Chicago as well. Now, that part I'm just going to say another coincidence. When I hear about all these people that you all, talk about, the Valerie Payton, when you talk about the Will Eating, no, I don't know any of them personally, but I'm from the west side of Chicago, and Chicago is small. And it's just amazing that where I grew up at, these people grew up in those same areas.
So, a
Because
question in the chat: have you contacted the Savages,
yes,
and have they contacted you back?
I reached out to the Savage family about 2 years ago. Yes, I did. And we, they listened to me, but at the time when I spoke with them, well, when I spoke, I don't want to say them, when I spoke with the mother, I was a wreck. When I tell you, an emotional wreck, kind of, some, some people may say all over the place, because I didn't have all my information. I didn't know everything that I know now. Whereas the other families, people came to them. They was able to say, yes, for sure, your daughter was around. I didn't have that. It's like this is a puzzle, and I'm having to put this puzzle together myself. So to answer the question from someone in the chat, I reached out to them about 2 years ago, and I posted something on my it's an Instagram page. It's called Our Channel Your Voice. Something I didn't want to do, but I have to bring awareness to what I'm dealing with in the Chicagoland area, because this something ain't right here. So I tagged the what's her name? What's the woman's name? The mother and the father. I'm gonna just say it that Tim Savage and Jongelyn Savage in my post, because I made a post to them saying, letting them know that you're fighting for your daughters. 10, you've been fighting for your daughter for 10 years. I've been fighting for my daughter for 6 years. You both in the Chicago, we're both in the Chicagoland area where your daughter, was at, and where R. Kelly was at as well. And it's some connections that are being looked over. And I think that it's time. My thing is this, and the reason I did that, because I believe that it is time for us as parents who are searching for our children in the Chicagoland area. And people may say, oh, they're not children. Well, she's a child to me. It's my daughter. I carried her for 9 months. She may be an adult, but even if she's 50, that's still going to be my baby. So, with that being said, the same way I'm on Prima Donna's channel telling my story, I feel that it's time for myself and the Savages to come together and look, what do you all have? Because I'm already showing you that the woman that's walking with your daughter, my cousin was at her apartment, her and her friend Rakaya. So that's not just something we should look over. And I'm looking for my daughter.
So, you don't think it's odd that 2 years ago you reached out to them in a similar predicament, and they were all on these platforms trying to get people to come out, get people to go to the authorities, get people to do all this? But when it came to you, y'all have similar stories, but they just want to keep playing you to the left.
Yeah,
Did you also contact the Clarys?
I did. I contacted the Clarys, and that was in 2019. And you know what? I want to go back with something, Prima Donna. And please, I want your audio, your chat to know they can ask me anything. My story is the same, and I don't have anything to hide, because the only way I can get help is when people ask questions. Ask the questions that can tie, if this story helps R. Kelly, if it, helps me as a mother, it's about the truth. The thing is, why is it that I haven't seen or heard from my daughter? Why are these stories connected, starting to connect? Why the people that was around R. Kelly? Because the thing is this, and I'm not trying to get sidetracked, please don't, because I'm going to answer their question. It said that they wanted to get the head first, okay? And
Right.
if R. Kelly is the head, okay, you got the head. If that's the case, what about the body, which was the security, which was the women that was around that was considered madams? What about the people that was bringing food? What about the body? That's what I'm concerned about. Because see, the thing is, yeah, R. Kelly's in jail and he been in jail for 6 years. I haven't seen my daughter in 6 years. The question is this: if he's in jail, no, and no if he's in jail, who's still running this supposedly this enterprise? Who's still Joycelyn? Yes, they saying, she's saying that she's an adult, she's not a victim. That's the same thing that was said to me. If you all only knew how much of a how many similarities when it come to Joycelyn and when it came to Ashriel and when it came to these other young ladies that I'm dealing with. The question is, why isn't my story just as important? Why isn't my daughter not being in my life not as important as these other young ladies? Do I have any connections? No. Do I have any radio jockey connections like Dominique's mother, who was connected to Phantom? No, I don't. Do I have like, and I don't want to knock any of the parents. I'm not here to do that. But do I have the connections that they had when it comes to bloggers who took their stories and ran with it? And some of this stuff was over exaggerated. See, my story is what it is. It's the truth. And all I'm asking for is anybody who knows something and can connect what I shared so far. Because it's more people to this. But right now, I'm trying to give you all things that is 100% facts. Nothing that nobody can kind of tear down and say, oh no, she kind of no. What I just gave you all is facts. Again, that was for
What did the authorities tell you the last time they reached out to you about this whole situation?
which was in September 2024. They told me that my daughter walked into the police station and said that she don't want anything to do with me as her mother. They told me after 5 years of me pleading and asking for help that my child walked into the police station. The question is this. I asked them, did did you have on your body cam so I can see my baby's face? I ain't got to hear what she said, okay? Yeah, everybody want to say our kids are over the age of 18. But did you have a body cam so I can see her face, her eyes? Because there's a mother, see, I know something is wrong. If my daughter has turned on me, trust me, my daughter didn't do it on her own. My daughter did not turn against me as her mother on her own. I asked him. He told me no. The detective told me the detectives don't wear body cam. I said, okay. The room you interviewed her in, did it have cameras? He said, nope. I said, so you telling me that a story like mine, where I nor no one in my family have seen nor heard from my daughter in 5.5 years. At this time, it was 5.5 years. You telling me you finally put it out and it didn't hit mainstream media. They put it on WGN's website. And who really go look at WGN's website? It said that 27, I think it says 27. Please, y'all don't quote me and don't attack me because I can't remember exactly what it said. But it said missing from family. And you tell me you put down that she ain't seen or heard from us in 5.5 years, and you tell me y'all didn't record it to at least show proof that my baby walked into this police station. So I said, okay. I knew that I was going to file a FOIA for the public lobby cameras. I did that, and they tell me that there were no public cameras for the police station or the outside of police station. Now we all know that's a lie because every police station have cameras. The question is, why, when it comes to my daughter, there's no cameras that can show me that she walked into the police station? Yes, she's an adult now. My baby, just like the Savage family, they daughters now, they say, she said she's 29, should be 30. My daughter just turned, my daughter 28, but she was 21 the last time I saw her, a senior at UIC, 3 weeks away from getting ready to graduate. Y'all got to give me a moment because, see, I get emotional and I get angry.
And while you're pausing right there, let me just put out there the reason why, I could sympathize with what's going on with her is because if you go look on YouTube, you can see channels like Soft White Underbelly and all these other channels that capture real street life activity. And it wouldn't be far fetched that a woman could be impressionable and get sucked up in a lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
and end up disavowing their family because of the lifestyle they've engaged in. That's not far fetched. My position is we know R. Kelly is not holding any hostages. So, as she just insinuated, as far as the other people that the government claimed they were going to be holding accountable, my position is it ain't my job to sit up here and defend or cap for them when I see what's going on this internet and how you yourself have reached out to this Team Truth
Yes,
Cove, right?
yes, yes, I have.
Certain
Yes,
individuals have shared your story, right?
Adams is the only one from
Atmos
that.
Love, the
Yeah,
only
Adams
one
Love.
out of all these people on this platform that want to advocate for victims, the only one from over there that shared your story was Atmos Love.
Yes. And I want to make sure because I don't want anyone saying I didn't answer a question. So you mentioned you said that someone from the or you may have just asked, did I reach out to the Clarys? So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't answer that question. I want to answer that question because I did speak with the Clarys, and how I got in touch with the Clarys, because you all probably wonder, well, how did she even get in touch with the Clarys and the Savages?
Mm-hmm.
How I got in touch with them was when the Surviving R. Kelly came out. I didn't, at that time, I wasn't connecting anything. What I was saying that something was wrong with my daughter, and her behavior sounded like these young ladies. So at the time, Tasha K, it started, how she was doing a lot of interviews. So these interviews were now being like on social media. They come up on your Facebook page. So her interviews. So somehow Tasha K's interviews with with these families and people that was in his circle was starting to come up, and the Savages, was it the Savages or the Clarys? Don't hold me to it. One of them was on her channel, and I reached out through email because she posted her email. Most bloggers put their email so you can contact them. And I sent her an email in which I have, and I wish, Prima Donna, I could have sent this stuff to you so that you could have shown on the screen, because everything's about facts. People want to see facts. So
Right.
they could have saw the email that I sent her saying, I'm a mother in the Chicagoland area. Um, I have a daughter who I haven't seen. At this time, it was months. And I said, I haven't seen my daughter, but my daughter's behavior sound very much similar to the Savage's story. That's what I was focused on. I said, their daughter was in college. My daughter was in college, talking about the head down, the sweatsuit, the asking for things. some other things they said, but I'm not gonna talk about that because I don't want nobody. Anyway, so I asked her, "Is it possible for you to ask them if they saw my daughter around?" Well, I didn't get a response that first time. I sent another message. This is Miss Battle. I'm just asking. My daughter went to UIC. I still haven't saw her. So finally, she asked me to send a picture, but she didn't respond back. So months later, because I'm starting to look at the Savages story, I'm looking at the Clary story, and now this stuff is connecting even more. And I'm reaching out again. I said I'm gonna reach out again to her. So I reached out again to Tasha Kane through email. Again, this is only through email because she knows she only communicated this time she responded back and she said, no, I said, can you please get me in touch? At this time, I mixed the names up. I wanted the Savages, but I said the Clarys because it's me and the Clary story. Not see here, I mix it up again. Me and the Savage story. Our daughters sound much similar, not so much Ashriel, but when I sent her the message and I said the Clarys, the Clary, Mr. Savage got in touch with me that same day. And this was in 2019. At that time, I was a crying wreck. And when I tell you, I can't even believe the man said on the phone, I can't say nothing bad about Mr. Clary. I know he listened to me. And that's how I found out about Team Truth. He told me, but he didn't tell me Larry's name was Larry. He told me, he said, "Oh, that was the name that was given to me. It was O." And he said, "There's are you familiar with YouTube?" Now, at this time, I was not on YouTube. I may have a couple times, maybe even been on YouTube. And he said, there's a channel. He gave me the name of the channel, and they came on late. I was the one who went to bed like clockwork, 10:30, 10:15, 10:30. That was my bedtime. But they was coming on late, 1, 2, 11. It's just late. With that being said,
Right.
and then, yeah, then, and no offense, I'm not here to knock people, please, y'all, because I don't want my words to be misconstrued or if I'm attacking anybody, but that environment wasn't for me either because it was the drinking and the drug. But with all of that being said, it was a lot of information coming out, and that's what kept me on that channel. I didn't know anything about Adana. I didn't know anything about you, Prima Donna. I was just listening, and what really kept me on that channel when a bus driver was interviewed.
That
See,
was Terry
Terry and
Allen.
Terrence. Yeah, say it again, please.
Terrence Allen.
Yes. See, when they started talking about when the bus driver started talking about the young girls getting on the bus in the village of Madison.
Okay, I'm gonna let Dana, he's up here, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let him also chime in as well. But before we get to that,
Mm-hmm.
there's some other connecting dots to your story
Yes.
because another red flag that caught me was when Deronda Pace came out and she was talking about this MySpace
Mm-hmm.
name and how she was contacted by an
Mm-hmm.
individual by the name of Bubba, who we
Mm-hmm.
found to be Ruby Cristal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that these people over there with the Team Truth, Oak Cove, the people that got the bus drivers, the managers,
Yes.
the
Yes.
assistants, right? Some
Yes.
people
Yes.
over there, they selectively pick things from my perspective, from what you've said,
Yes.
because their stories begin to fall apart from my perspective. And when you come out and you see similar things
Yes.
like Bubba,
Yes.
like the Olsen twins,
Yes.
and you
Yes.
see supporters gravitating toward them, it make you look kind of crazy, huh?
Yes. Yes.
So
And,
I also look kind of crazy because I can't get jiggy with them people over there.
yeah. In addition to
I
that,
can't I can't sit here and push half stories when I see the angles they pushing out here.
absolutely. In addition to
Dana, I'm
that,
gonna unmute your mic also.
in addition to that, you know what? It's so much that it's just so much that I have, and you know, my baby, she drew. Mm, mm.
You saw Larry McGee sharing the image of your daughter's collage, also,
No,
right?
no,
Or
no.
who sent
Atmos,
the
Atmos shared it.
Atmos shared the
Mm.
Larry sharing the images of your daughter's school.
Oh, oh. See, thank you for saying that. See, I be when I tell you I got 6 years of information, and I try to if I try to share as much as I can. I'm glad you brought that up. So, in 2019, remember I told you it was Mr. Clary, the one that told me about Teen True.
Mm.
And I was listening to the channel, and I stayed listening because a lot of stuff that they was talking about and the people they were talking about, I'm able to say, okay, I know this person. I don't know them personally, but I know of this person from this person or this person. And I get into detail if you want me to go into detail, but going into the Larry thing, I remember because I never really talked to Larry. I may have spoken to him, and when I say brief, it wasn't even a minute. That was to tell my story, kind of tell that I was in search of my daughter. But at this time, I remember I'm a crying wreck. I'm a mother. They had years, a few years to kind of gather their emotions and tell their story to the public. For me, that was my first, few months. So I remember Larry said, and I never forget this. I never forget this. When I called him, because his number was on his channel, I reached out and called him. And I said, I've been, why no one is taking my story seriously. And I remember this man said this, and he said, your daughter is the corner. He said, your daughter is the cornerstone to the R. Kelly's case. And at this time, I didn't know no cornerstone meant. Like of a case anyway. And he told me that an agent by the name of Sylvia, but this is what I remember him saying to me, but I'm gonna tell you what was said after I brought this out. He said an agent by the name of Sylvia was gonna get in touch with me. He told me too the area code. It'd be coming from a particular area code. Now in my notes, I got it written down, but again, I wasn't prepared for this particular for this interview tonight. For me to come out and speak, and that the Sylvia didn't call, and I didn't hear from him again. And I, when he went to jail, I still stayed watching the channel because that's where I was getting some, information that was connecting to people that was in the community that I live in. So I started listening to Atmos now with the transcripts and everything. Because see, I'm one of those. I'm taking notes because this stuff is too much connected to me, my situation and where I live and people that's around me that I know. So I said I'm trying to listen to everything. So that's how I end up getting on Atmos now. And listening, listening to Atmos, and I happened to call in, and that's how I got connected to Atmos and Keller. Going back to the picture that you're talking about, I know my story is long, and I'm sorry, you all, but when somebody asks,
It's a lot to unpack, and I'm gonna wrap it up for the people in the comments because y'all already know what I'm gonna come back with because these people playing, like I said, they playing with this lady, they playing with her story, They playing with R. Kelly life. We gonna get to it. Mm-hmm.
So so a post was posted on Larry's Nim channel. Well, not Larry's Nim, on Team Truth channel. And at that time, I think it may not even say Team Truth, but I sent it to you. It may have said grown little boy or something like that, because his channel changes, names change all the time. So it showed a picture, and again, it's about facts. This was from his channel, Larry McGee's channel. It said 2020. You can look at the picture. It was in 2020 when he posted it. And it was of a young lady that attended UIC, the same college my daughter attended.
Mm-hmm.
And how I know this, she's standing in front of the UIC, and doing the when he posted it, he said, "This is a young lady that attends UIC," but he didn't say young lady. I tend to call young ladies young. I don't, I say young lady. So he probably said a girl or whatever he said, but I'm saying a young lady that attends UIC that's dating R. Kelly, and she's standing in front of the building. And the thing was this: I ended up, because I like to go and show the public, look, this is what they posted. This is what Larry McGee posted in 2020, speaking of a young lady who attended UIC. Now, that young lady was not my daughter. Now, I got the picture of the young lady because they didn't black the picture out, but out of respect and privacy of that young lady, when I posted it on my social media page, I blocked her face out because, again, it's about privacy. And my daughter's dorm was above the building where it was at. Now, somebody too reached out to my daughter, calling her baby girl. Now, in my family, we don't use the term baby girl. And someone said to my daughter through a text, and I asked the police to pull my phone records. I said, "You all can pull phone records. You can get the tape, the text, because my daughter was on my phone line. Pull the phone, pull my phone records, and we can get the number to who texts my daughter calling her baby girl saying he gonna have them drop." He said, "Baby girl, I know what you need." He said, "It's your mama driving you crazy." This was in 2017, 2018. Somebody had been grooming my baby. Oh God. And I thought I was gonna do good on this interview. Somebody been grooming my child for years. And they call her baby girl. And they said when they leave Ohio. Now, I can't say, was it Ohio the street or Ohio the state? But he said that they were gonna them drop have them drop him off at Ohio. I mean, have wait a minute. He said, "Baby girl, I know what you need. It's your mama driving you crazy." He said, "I'm gonna have them drop me off." He said, "When I leave Ohio, I'm gonna have them drop me off at Halstead, because my daughter dorm was on Halstead and Roosevelt at UIC, where that picture was taken of the girl standing, that Larry McGee posted, that the girl was standing in front of the building that was on Halstead and Roosevelt."
Miss Miss Battle.
Yes,
This Dana. This Dana.
yes.
I'm 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 listening to you,
Mhm,
and I'm listening to the pain that's coming from you.
mhm.
Now, and I'm gonna say this. You said the one. See, I don't even want to say this dude's name. You said Larry McGee
Yes,
posted a picture, right? How did he get the picture?
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay. So, question: did you ever send Atmos the picture?
No, no, I didn't know Atmos at this time. Remember, I mean, I don't want to say remember. I This particular picture that Larry posted, I didn't know that young lady. I knew nothing about that young lady.
All
He
right,
posted.
all right. So watch this. Not to cut you off. Let me give you a little rundown real quick. Everything that Larry was spewing came from Angelo. Angelo was the one giving him backgrounds and what to say, right? Because they needed somebody to combat me. All right. From that point, I'm not even gonna put myself in it because it's not about me. Um, I can honestly say that I've never seen your daughter around Rob, but you said she went to go visit your cousin that stayed in the same building that Don Russell and June Barrett stays in.
No, that Don. Well, I don't know June Barrett. I just know Don Russell,
Watch this.
the attorney, and
Watch
Lindsey
this.
Fairman.
And you about to find out who she is in a few minutes.
I know that's his mother, but I'm saying I don't know who. But I know. Yeah,
But
go
they
ahead.
stayed together in that building.
Hmm.
They currently still have an apartment in that building. Second of all, I'm not even going to play the radio. And I'm not even going, sit here and be like, and like walk down the street with you. I'm gonna give you some information, and what you do with it from this point is what you do with it.
Hmm.
And I got this from a reliable source like 7 minutes ago
Hmm.
because I sent that person this live, and they said, "Holy shit!" Okay, here's what it is. Have you? But I sent you some pictures to look at. I don't know if you looked at them.
No, I
I
haven't.
don't think,
No, you just sent it to me.
no, no, no. I sent this back when we was talking a while ago.
Which picture, Dana?
It was some pictures of Don Russell leaving court with a young lady. If you don't have them, I'll resend.
No, no, I don't have
Okay,
that.
okay, I'll resend them.
Please
All
do.
right. So, so, so we do know that Don Russell was married,
Uh,
or is currently married. Um,
yes. Oh, yes.
wait,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
wait.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's about to click in now. It's about to click in. Don Russell is currently married, right?
Hmm.
But separated because Don Russell have a young lady pregnant that's about 28 years old by the name of Mia.
Use
As
a
we currently
use a
speak.
lie. You a lie. You a
Nah,
lie.
I'm telling
You
you, what just
you a
came to me.
lie. You a, I'm a,
I'm telling you what just came to me,
let me tell you something.
and I
Whoever,
don't do no capping.
let me say this. I need to know facts. See, sometimes people be playing games in these chats. Don't play
Nah,
games. I'm
this
gonna
is
just
a
say this.
game and it's not in the chat.
I'm gonna just say this. Whoever sent it, I need you to be serious. Cause see, I ain't that mama that I'm not that mama that need to be played with. Because see,
Do I sound like I'm joking?
no, what I'm saying is I need you to be
But I'm not
factual
gonna
with
give
me.
out my source, and because of the situation going on with this situation, so I'm not gonna give out my source. But I'm telling you, that's just a very strong, like a
Okay,
99.9%
okay,
lead
see, okay, but
for you
see,
to look
the,
at.
the thing is this. The thing is this. I need to know for
I'm,
a fact. Because see, I ain't finna play games with no Don Russell. I'm from the West Side, just like he from the West Side. And see, my
listen,
baby been gone for 6 months, and I
listen,
will hunt that nigga down. You, you, you,
listen,
you are you playing with
listen,
me, Dana?
See,
listen.
that's why y'all gonna have to connect behind the scenes because y'all already know the point. The point in this live was to put on Front Street what's really going on that people playing.
Listen. Right, right. So my thing is, and I'm about to put it out there. I gave you the lead, and I started out saying, and whatever you do with it is what you do with it. I'm telling you what's going on.
Okay, Dana. Okay, so you
Wait
telling me?
a minute, but I'm not finished. Wait a
Go
minute, but
ahead.
I'm not finished.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not finished. I've also seen you on Atmos Live talking, right?
Uh-huh.
So my question was, and you made rounds around to people who don't give a damn about your daughter. They were just only there for clicks and views and to exploit your daughter.
What's
At
it?
the end of the day, at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
when me and you talk, I said, give me what? Give me a month I said 30 days to be exact. That was my words. Give me 30 days. I'm gonna look into this. I'm gonna see what's going on.
I don't
I
remember
sent
that.
huh?
I don't. What? But go ahead. I don't. I don't. I don't remember
It's the
that.
same day that you sent me the whole thing about Santee.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we talked for damn near an hour.
But you didn't call back though. I mean, go
No, I
ahead. But
didn't
go
call you
ahead.
back. I told you give me 30 days.
I don't. Mm, I don't remember that, Dana. I'm be honest. I don't remember that. But you
Oh,
know
so you
what?
don't remember that part of the story though.
No, I don't remember that at
Oh,
all.
okay.
But
All right.
however, I
So
don't
like
know.
I'm saying, at the end of the day, this is something serious. This is nothing to be playing with. I'm not gonna get up here and joke no feather. I'm not gonna get up here and shake no feather because honestly, I don't have a dog in a fight. But
Me
what I
neither. I got
will
a
say,
daughter.
but wait, what I will say is when the people want to get up here and start spreading fallacies about Rob got this person, Rob got this person, Rob don't got none of that. Rob been locked up for 6 years. And before that, Rob wasn't holding nobody hostage or nothing. And the problem that I'm having, and I'm about to get really gully with it, and the problem that I'm having is that people want to jump and run with a story from a fake ass family, but for that only want clicks and views, and they only want to see prosperity from their daughter. Tim Savage have came on and said he don't give a fuck about his daughter.
Well, let me
He
just say
take
this. Let me
hold
say this because
on,
I don't want to.
women's battle. Women's battle because you need to hear this. And because you trying to model yourself after them. No,
Not at
model
all.
yourself
Not
after
at
you.
all. Not at all. That's not what I
Model
do.
your story and model yourself after you. And because you have came up here and said on different platforms, I want the attention that the Savages is getting. No, you don't. You
What
want
I'm
the attention, and you want the attention that you need the truth about your daughter. That's it. Fuck them
okay.
people.
Okay. Yeah, but I hear you, Dana. What I'm saying is because I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm saying. I don't want the attention that the Savages is getting. What I'm saying, I want the same awareness that people was bringing when it came to their daughter. And see, before this happened, and before this, before this happened, with me coming out to speak, and I've only spoken on two, but your channel, Prima Donna's channel, and Atmos channel. Now, before this happened, I'm a private person.
So
If
let me hold on. Let me translate what Dana just said because everybody be forgetting. Everybody got their own language and the way they speak and the way they deliver it. So essentially, what he's telling you is similar to what I've been telling you. When you're reaching out to the Savages, they are not gonna try to help you. They not studying you. Like if you want to
I
get
believe that,
media
yeah,
awareness about your story, do it
yes,
on you. Don't fuck
yes,
them. That's what we
yes.
saying in so many words.
And
Okay.
you know what? And you're not the only one that said that to me. Dana's not the only one that said that to me. I guess the way that I'm cut, I'm one of these type of people that I just believe that you it's no man left behind, and that's just how I'm cut. I believe in helping. If it's something going on with my child and it's connecting someone else's child, I want to help. But going back to what Dana said, now Dana, you just stated that someone shared with you that Don Russell got a Mia allegedly pregnant. See, and the thing is, it's hard for me to believe that without facts before I go. It's hard for me. I need to know facts because I'm gonna tell you this, and you all may not want to hear this. I have been told and have some proof of some stuff too that R. Kelly got a Mimi pregnant as well. So,
Okay, watch this. Oh,
but
wait.
see,
Check
this is
this
what I'm
out.
saying. You all not gonna want to hear that on
Wait,
this
wait.
channel.
No, because me, I want to hear it all. Cause see, here's what I'm getting down to. You don't want to hear the fact
I didn't say
that
that.
no, you just said it. You don't want to hear the fact that Or it's hard for you to believe. That's what you say. I'm sorry. It's hard for you to believe that Don Russell
No,
got somebody by the name of Mia pregnant. And
no.
that's coming from and that's coming from somebody that's very, 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 very close to this whole situation. But it's not hard for you to believe, but R. Kelly got somebody named Mimi pregnant though, right?
Okay, but let me just say this because I don't want the tone to change with us because we're talking and
No,
see
our tone ain't changing.
no,
I
okay, so
don't
let me just
change.
say this. What I'm saying is this. I've been for the past few years had this information. And
Mm-hmm.
the thing is this. See, my daughter name is Mia. MIA. 3 letters. No reason for me as the mother to give her a nickname when she only have 3 letters in her name. And for it to been said that R. Kelly allegedly got a Mimi pregnant. Well, for me, when I first heard that, that had nothing to do with my daughter because my daughter's name is Mia.
So why are you
Okay.
running the campaign for that R. Kelly
You
got
let
your daughter pregnant?
okay, you let me finish. Let me just say this. I'm not here to dispute about anything. See, this is a fight. This is a personal fight for me as a mother searching for my daughter. Now, if you want to hear my story, I don't want to be like, I don't want to seem like I don't want to be attacked like the Savages. I don't want to be attacked like the Clarys. I don't want to be attacked like the young lady and whoever that young lady who get attacked. This I'm a mother and this is personal. You all have children too. And I'm just trying to put the pieces together. Now, getting back to what I'm saying about the me, I done came across some stuff in my daughter's stuff at home where it says me. And ain't no reason my daughter nickname need to be no me or nobody else. See, this is factual stuff. Another thing, when R. Kelly was put out of the studio, Channel 2 News, there was some stuff brought out of his studio and it's on the channel. I have the photo of baby items. Now, why was a baby a baby playpen brought out of the studio? Why? In the black bag.
Do that have anything to do
So,
with your daughter?
you think your daughter had a baby?
Right now, I'm just trying to put pieces together. Again, it was been saying for years that he got a Mimi battle. My last name is Battle.
I'm gonna say this in this battle, but I gave you some information. Um, you should definitely go take a look
Oh,
at that.
I'm definitely gonna
Um,
do that.
on this note, sis, you got it. I'm about to drop down to the chat. I'm gone.
Gotcha.
And you know what, Prima Donna, I'm just gonna say to you, I appreciate the fact, and I appreciate Dana too, because one thing about the both of you, and that's why when I felt like there was some tension starting to build, and I wanted to stop it because one thing about me, I have respect for you and Dana, even though you all are fighting for R. Kelly, but we're still all are fighting for truth. And the thing is, only way the truth gonna come, the whole truth gonna come out is when both sides come together and tell their story, even if it's not something that neither of us want to hear.
Right.
Even the thing is, we trying to get to the truth. And this is a sensitive matter on your end and Dana's end and my end. So you all are fighting for a man, I'm fighting for my daughter. You understand? So, but it's still personal. It's still
Absolutely.
personal. So
Absolutely.
I just want you to know that I appreciate how you handle my story. I appreciate the respect that you give me, and the same I'm going to give to you. I know that there's a loyalty that you and Dana have when it comes to people, because you don't want to be burned. Because I know when somebody burn you all, I, I, I know how you all can get. But see, my story, I have no reason to lie. If I could have handled this behind the scene and never came on social media asking questions, when I tell you this my baby story, This is something that whatever she's gone through. And I'm a mother that no mother want their child to go through anything. We would rather take the pain than they take anything. But whatever it is that she is going through or have been through, I felt like this was her story to tell if ever she ever wanted to come out and tell it. But because I feel like people been playing with me for 6 years, we're not talking about 6 hours, 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. We're talking about 6 years. What else am I supposed to do as a mother? But now try to bring awareness. I'm going to take what Dana said, because anything anybody tell me, I follow through on it. And I meant what I said. I need to know for sure that what he's saying is real, because see, I don't have to wait months on going out west or going over to that building at all. I just need to know for sure. I just need to know for sure. That's all I need to know. And I know nobody want to give their sources. It's okay. It's okay. But I just thank you for this time.
Mhm.
I thank you for this time allowing me to speak.
Yeah, I'll most definitely extend the olive branch again, like in the future. But for the most part, what you just said is addressing the elephant in the room that a lot of people are going to be uncomfortable talking about. And it's kind of the same way I felt watching this whole janky ass trial when only 5 individuals went up there to testify on behalf of R. Kelly that couldn't testify to a goddamn thing when it came to a so called 20 to 30 year racketeering history. It's too many people that were left out of these allegations that have been all over these platforms and nobody being held accountable. It's a damn shame that if you don't have media connections and affiliations, your story ain't gonna be heard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a slap in the fucking face when it's a real issue out here and people are playing in your face.
Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
why I stand up. Because regardless of what people think, I ain't here to protect nobody. Even behind the scenes, Dana could tell you when it came to certain things that I questioned him behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It was no need to put any extra fluff on any content that I put out here because I remain adamant in what I see, and that is R. Kelly can't be holding nobody hostage. So
Mm-hmm.
if somebody is in affiliation with your story or know something about your story, they should
Yeah.
come out here and get that shit straight. Because
Absolutely.
right now ain't the time to be fucking playing because we obviously on defense right now. You feel me?
Yes.
We out here trying to keep the record straight when it comes to this man getting a pardon or some
Yes.
remedy to all these manufactured charges these janky ass people put out here because
Yes.
he ain't the only one that should be in jail if you feel this way or that way. I really don't give a damn.
Yes. Yes. Prima Donna, before we wrap up, and I'm glad you said that, and getting, thinking about something, and when I tell you I got so much of like just notes and just recordings and things that I'm listening to these channels and listening to, even we're listening to that Don Russell. So I don't want Dana to think for one moment that Don Russell is off the hook, because as you can see, Don Russell was number one in that corner on my the image. Now, Don Russell stated, he said that if you go back to that choke no joke, he said that when it come up to when the young ladies, what we gonna say, he said what we gonna say, the reason why the girls were silenced was because we was working on some songs. He said, so I was trying to tell R. Kelly to get these songs out. The reason I'm saying this, he said he was the one that came up with that idea on what we gonna say. Now, in addition to that, he too, when it came to this, I know you all don't want to talk about the Savage, but I'm gonna say the Savage family. He said that he wasn't recording that call, but yet still he was. But he turned around and said too that see, we got something that we gonna use to protect us over here. He said that they was gonna bring out the girls. He went on to say, if you remember, If when in the choke no joke interview, and I got pieces of all of it, he said they had gotten a hypnosis. See, now we've been saying that our daughters were brainwashed. He said they got a hypnosis for R. Kelly. Look, I mean, pull up, and I can send it to you when we get off. But the thing is, why did he have to go find this worldwide hypnotist for R. Kelly? Now, for me as a mother, who I say, my daughter ain't gonna just turn on me because I know my daughter loved me as much as I love her and more. She can. I'm gonna fight until my eyes is closed. My thing is this: if he in 8 months made all these in 8 months, he caused all these records in 8 months by dialing *6 9 on and thinking that the feds couldn't pick that up. By if he did all of this in 8 months and he got a hypnotist for R. Kelly, who's to say he didn't use that hypnotist for the girls? I'm just saying.
Who's to say they didn't use this hypnotist for all these bad actors they had all on Surviving R. Kelly,
You
all
you
on these
you're right.
interviews,
You're right.
all on the stand?
You're
Like,
right. You
it
look.
could go both ways, you know.
You're right. You know what? I'm tell you. When I tell you, it's good to talk to somebody who is just it's it's good to talk to somebody who can give both sides and not take and I'm not, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure you take it personal, but I'm saying you listen and you still gonna come back with what you stand for. You stand on what you stand on, and that's why I can respect you for that. We're gonna get to this truth. We're gonna get to this truth, and as long as I have this voice inside of me, and now that I created my own channel as well, I'm gonna be posting, and I'm gonna you let if I'm gonna go over there to that building, and we're gonna see because based upon my information, Don Russ don't live there no more. But he's saying that he still live there. We're gonna see. We're gonna definitely see.
So, for y'all in the chat, the reason why I could continue to explore this is because I still have a burdening question myself. Again, why is it that when this woman is showing concern for her daughter, who's an adult, she gets told this and told that and said, oh, your daughter came in and said she's not missing? Cool. But as a concerned person, why can't you validate that? Why can't you show some proof that this actually occurred, and then this lady can go on about her business? But instead, you got people like the savages that could keep taking pictures, calling up the police, knocking on doors, doing their welfare checks and all that bullshit. And the public eat that up.
Yeah.
Somebody make it make sense. All I'm saying, listening to her and giving her the opportunity to tell her story, whether you believe it or not, is the fact that these people that engulfed themselves so deeply in this R. Kelly situation that allowed people like her to be able to connect dots to certain people who grace these platforms don't need to feel no way about Prima Donna, because I can view both sides of the story, give my perspective. And for those that want to give commentary on my perspective, you can give your own commentary, cool, but it just make more sense to give commentary on your own shit if you disagree. You feel me?
Yes.
With that said, if you got anything else to say, I'm gonna let you close it out, and then I'm gonna let anybody in the comments, if they want to jump up, they can do so, and if not, then we just gonna wrap this up and and schedule something in the future.
I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I just thank you for for being a woman of your word, and you have followed through. Thank you, and I mean it. I know that you don't look for you don't look for you're not looking for anything in return, But if somebody take my story, I promise you, Prima, I'm gonna make sure I say who helped me, who helped me so far, and I thank you. I want to send a message to my daughter. If just so happen she's listening, Mia, I love you. As you know, your mama's a fighter, and for somebody to have done this to us, they knew they had to divide and conquer. But as you know, your mama, I'm gonna be on Nate. You know me, Mia. You know me, baby. I'm that broad bottle that you break in case of emergency. I'm coming for them. And Don Russell, if you got anything to do with my daughter, may God be with you. And that's it. That's all I got to say.
I thank you so much for your time, and I hope everything goes well. I pray that somebody can reach out to you and give you some more information pertaining to the subject matter. And I wish these people stop playing these games straddling the fence, because it don't make no sense. Either you're here to help victims, either you're here to support survivors, or are you here to advocate for the civil rights infractions that we've seen displayed by Snitch Nine and his friends? Okay? Don Russell ain't got away with a shit.
Not
But
one
we
thing.
know that when it comes to the government, you can sit over here and pass off this person and get a slap on your wrist. So I want people to quit confusing where I stand. You have a good night, Miss Battle. I hope to hear from you soon.
Yes, you
Everybody
will.
in the chat, I'm gonna drop the link again. Good night, Miss Battle.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
All right.
I'm gonna drop the link again in the chat. Should anybody want to pop up and give their final comments? Because, like I just said, if you can't tell, it's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, just everywhere. People trying to distract you from knowing where you stand. And we, as supporters that have followed this case from 2017, not just 2019, 2017, who have followed it from there to now, we see how these stories are building. We see how these players are being exposed. So don't get mad at Prima that I didn't spend 5, 6 years capping for no weird ass people in no janky ass inner circle that couldn't even get an effective defense for the golden goose, as they say. Make this shit make sense. God damn, this shit frustrating as hell to sit here and start a channel based on curiosity. And now y'all see firsthand that I just get bombarded with things from every direction. I got the supporters always trying to jock my shit, then come at me. Then you got all these people that are against Kels that want to put me in a cult. Bitch, I ain't in no cult. I got my own free mind. Don't nobody tell me to do shit. Can't nobody control me. But as a woman, I can sympathize when women go through shit. I work at the Waffle House, so if you don't know shit, I see a lot of pimps, hoes, and other nefarious activities going on. So I ain't the one to judge nobody. Just keep that in mind. What's up, Dana?
Man, I just couldn't take it no more. I couldn't take it no more because it's like it's crazy how, and I sympathize with Miss Battle, but from being around on the back end with them folks, and you hear the same recycled story from 2000 from a 2001, and then it's like it just seemed like in the way they tried to spin Miss Battle's situation, they got her believing that Rob is a straight menace and a monster. And I'm like, nah, man, but that man is one of the most heartfelt, shyest people ever. And he wears feelings on the sleeve. So I'm like, you listening to people who don't know him over somebody that knows him and that spent time with him. Like, make this shit make sense.
No, it's like saying he got a coat because he has a selection of women. Well, again, if these women are content with that lifestyle, who the fuck are we?
That part. And then on top of that, it's like when you want to align yourself with the savages, I'm not going to see, I'm not prima donna. I'm not going to side eye you. I'm going to say you're fucking crazy. And the reason why I say it is because that man that came on and said he about making his millions. I've never heard Miss Battle come out and say nothing about no money. But what killed me is that people over there that know and what's going on, that act like they care about and what's going on, all getting a backstory from the Rat King. So it's like, ain't none of them going live without consulting him first. That's why y'all gotta look at Dana as being a liar, because Dana was behind the scenes. Dana know. So with that being said, man, I'm sitting back and I'm like, yo, it's funny to me. And because I can crack the code on all of them. And can't none of them rebut nothing I'm saying. But that's why they gotta resort to the gay jokes. Oh no, he gay. Never been gay in my life, but okay, right. Take you off topic. Just like Audra. And we on Shank talking about some stuff. Oh, you want to talk about something different? Take you off a topic. Listen, I said that to say this. My live tomorrow gonna be so brutal. And I'm sorry if I'm coming off like my heart don't care no more. Well, actually, this is not like I don't care no more, because I'm about Robert getting free. Because nobody, and I'm saying this real wholeheartedly, you ain't hear about nobody saying their daughter was taken by Robert when he was home. Except for the two parents that knew where their daughter and was at the whole time.
Right.
Robert gets locked up. You got motherfuckers in different demographics. Oh, my daughter was taken. My son was taken.
Now wait. You forgot the infamous rescue mission they put on Lifetime.
Yeah.
It sparked a lot of attention right there.
But then what really got me is when Miss Battle talked about the special agent.
Wait, what? She said Sylvia. What?
Man, you know that really hurt me right there, man. Because I sat back, I said, yo, these people been playing a lot of fucked up ass games, man.
My head is hurting, dead ass.
A special agent, really? That's what we doing? Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? They fail to realize what I'm doing here is because they don't want opposites talking. They don't want us to have civilized conversations without the rah 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 rah. Bitch, I don't have time for that. I just want to know what you know. I want to know what I know. We're gonna put this shit together and we're gonna figure this shit the fuck out, because I don't have time for all this bullshit. Like, what the fuck?
Here's the thing. Them old cold people, all of them got Stockholm syndrome and brainwash. When you seen Angelo and Larry split and you seen Angelo call that nigga a goddamn lie, that should have been it right there.
Yeah. But truth or false, do you not believe, in your opinion, that while Angelo had his nonprofit Team Truth, and while Snitch 9 was on this platform giving out all the exclusives, that's why I just kept saying they doing everything to free R. Kelly. I can't say when, I can't say how, but this shit right here is obviously a violation.
Yep. And here's the thing. As long as Angelo was giving Larry information, as long as Tasha K was emailing Larry and Angelo giving them information, as long as the super chats was coming in for Larry, it was great. The minute them super chats start drying up, all hell start breaking loose. But I'm gonna go here. It's weird how folks come out talking about they fought R. Kelly, but as soon as Larry do a PPP loan for him or unemployment check for him, all of a sudden everybody want to get silent when they come to R. Kelly and scrub their channels.
Right, they had me thinking about getting a PPP. Like, damn, can I get one? Goddamn, y'all handling this shit out like candy. I'm over here hustling these cakes one by one and shit. Can I get some money?
Man, listen. But that's why I say, like, yo, I ain't had no. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Some folks be jumping up there like, oh, you and Larry ate steaks together. Listen, man. I went to Vegas and the film on my radio. Larry went live and was like, yeah, y'all live in Vegas. So I said, shit, I've been beefing with the nigga. I'm going to call him. I called him and said, yo, I'm in Vegas, yo. So what's up? Show up. Larry said, nah, yo, I ain't going to come to you. Come to me. I said, cool. And because I fear no man, and I walk into any lines then and waiting for something to jump off. That's what I did. And that's where the infamous interview and all that came from, right? Mm-hmm. So here's my thing. I did that. Man to man, looked them in the face, right? I was persecuted for that. But when he went to jail, the same people that persecuted me put money on his books every week, made sure he was cool and all that. Where's the outrage for that? It was an outrage when I was talking to him. But when I said fuck him, where's the outrage for all of y'all talking to him? That's why I can't take a lot of these so-called supporters serious.
Right, because it's like they'll sit here and condemn you for doing shit that they do. So why you coming for prima donna? Like, I'm gonna speak on the shit that I don't give a fuck about, as long as it didn't have nothing to do with R. Kelly's case, his witnesses, his due process. I don't give a fuck.
Facts. And that's just where I'm at with it. I'm now in my kit bag. Fuck them people.
And it's also strange that, again, you remember when LaToya X was sitting here talking about Nicole sent for her and she got $4 million in a bank account and she all sitting here next to Azriel in this damn documentary and shit.
Oh yeah.
But when I tell the super fans over there that can y'all clear this shit up, because y'all remember Tasha K exposed her story, right? So y'all linking up with her, Lily, and all these other weird ass people looks a little suspect. So why get mad at me?
Now wait a minute. That's another thing that got me. When Lily name was mentioned by Miss Battle, I'm sitting back like, this shit crazy. So while I'm being attacked by the psych ward and the mental retarded people, they the same people that's harboring Lily. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, y'all get mad at me, and because I don't let nobody play in my face like that no more. But y'all see the stuff that's going on, not just from parents, not just from the feds, but then you got other people that spoke to other people that was there that mentioned Lily. So here's my thing. If everybody from the so-called inner circle, it's so easy to drop a dime about what Lily and what other people did, what make you think they ain't go and put their story on R. Kelly when the feds came and scooped them up? Because you ain't going to tell me, and you've been around R. Kelly for 20-something years, and the feds ain't come talk to you.
Well, it's like, why would y'all put Julius on the stand instead of Wayne? Like, They talking about shit that happened. This. And this. Why
Well,
would you not go get Wayne?
well, I gotta keep it a buck with you. The PI was handling that all came from the PI and Keith.
Oh, we know that.
And because when I said I got everybody number, I can match energy for energy. We can get everybody that the feds, they're 50 people, and we can get 55 up there to combat that. And I said, for London on the Track, mama, this is premeditated. Everybody, well, how you know, Dana? I got the whole manuscript.
Right. And Tasha K exposed that manuscript.
Nobody wanted to hear that. Nobody wanted to hear that.
So clearly, y'all in the chat, y'all see the level of frustration. My head is hurting right now because I don't know. I wasn't expecting some of this to come out. And
Again, like I said, like I said, not to cut you off, but I said it once and I say it again. And she need to go check and see if that's her daughter, but that Don Russell got, stomach poking out.
And that's what I'm saying. When you remember in the transcript, Emil was named in that part, and they was running with that. And that's another reason why she started back again, is because again, y'all keep playing with this woman, keep giving her the impression this and that when
all of this was died down, right? All of it was died down. I don't want nobody to think that I got an issue with Miss Battle, because I don't. I talk to Miss Battle behind the scenes.
Right.
But I don't lie to Miss Battle.
Right.
But I keep it just what it is. I don't lie to Miss Battle. So my thing is that at the end of the day, every time the Savages come out here and say something about their daughter, it triggers her. And that's because she went over there to them mentally retarded drunks. Cause that's all them motherfuckers over there. They crooked thieves and drunks and fake pastors. When she went over there, they got her thinking that her daughter is part of that bull crap. No. And the Savages will have you believing, we concerned about our daughter. Well, I'm about to drop a bombshell, and I might not have to go lie to mom. Tell the Savages to give back that $15K that they got from Jamal Bryant Church that day. Now tell me I'm lying, and I dropped the receipts from that church. That's why we about to launch a goddamn rally in front of New Birth. We want to see y'all books.
Hey, what happened to that little nonprofit the Savages had?
Yeah, but it's still on Old Nat, right in their pockets. See, that's how you get to the bottom of it, and I'm not ashamed to say my president is Donald Trump. So therefore, we gonna get to the money, and we gonna cut the wasteful youth.
Yeah.
We want to see Jamal Bryant books when the Savages came there, and I guarantee you it matches $15,572.32 that was paid to the Savage family.
This is just ridiculous.
And the last time I talked about it, ain't none of them say nothing after that. They got quiet when I put them numbers out there. Why? See what happens when Jamal burned people in his finance department?
Right. So she also mentioned connection with Lindsay, and I'm sure she shared some of her information. What the hell? Is that an echo?
Is it?
I'm sure she shared some of her information with you about Lindsay, and of course I've asked you about them as well. But the problem I also have on YouTube is people's selective amnesia when it comes to them coming out here saying that oh, you were supposed to be the social media influencer, but then when they decided they don't like your influence, they decided everybody was gonna come against you and wonder why I look at all them like a damn fucking fool.
Well, here's the thing about that. Jen didn't like the fact that I went against their agenda with Rated R, that they was supposed to be, trying to swindle money from R. Kelly from the song Not Supposed to Be. So when I went to the main engineer and he told me, yo, the song ain't mixed down. You already know that, Dana. You're the one that was in the session and the song ain't mixed down. So I said, who gave the green light for the song? And everybody got quiet. So then when I see Some Brother Love, I'm not thinking like, Keith gonna be on some grimy stuff. It wasn't until I got the audio, or should I say, oh, you know what? I ain't gonna cap. Somebody let me hear the audio. I don't got it just yet, but it's coming. When I heard the audio of Keith saying that, yeah, I went in the groups and I told the folks that Dana ain't no Rob like that and this and this, and then I seen the people run with it. I said, oh, okay. And then it's like when I seen people, family involved, and that's who people was running with. And then I hear that these same family members was getting paid to do certain stuff, and they connected to Keith. I'm like, hold on, bro. You came out and spoke on their behalf and to try to shut me down. But they doing janky stuff. So if they doing janky stuff and you connected, you gotta be doing janky stuff. So that's why I say, real talk. If it ain't the original day ones, fuck them. And the brotherhood, I don't even acknowledge that shit. I only acknowledge two people from the brotherhood. I acknowledge everybody from day one. And the real day ones is who I rock with. Everybody else, fuck them.
So why don't you think Rocky testified?
Huh?
Why don't you think Rocky testified?
I don't know.
See, that's another issue I have with the people that spread the propaganda online when it comes to the whole marriage thing. They must have forgotten what Rocky said in his BBC interview.
Yeah, but I do know that Rocky wasn't even contacted. Rocky wasn't contacted at all. And the only ones that was contacted was those 5 people, and Sean contacted them.
So pause. Nobody contacted Rocky about testifying for R. Kelly, but the janky ass Olsen twins contacted Rocky trying to get you validated to get on social media and influence the public. Somebody make this shit fucking make sense.
So hold on. So I got a question.
We talking about a goddamn janky ass marriage. I'm not finna keep engaging with you people talking about no damn marriage certificate when you didn't get the clerk on the stand. You didn't get Rocky on the stand. There's a lot of people you could have got on the stand.
No, wait. They didn't get the clerk on the stand, but they got the head guy that runs that whole vital record thing. And he said out of his mouth, there is no record of a marriage certificate. There's no record of an annulment. At the end of the day, but the only thing they had a record of was Aaliyah Halton trying to get some food stamps.
So that was it. So here go where we finna bring this shit the fuck home tonight, because I'm so tired of these people playing on my top. Okay. Demetrius said he went and got an ID with no age or nothing on it from the Human Service Department, right?
Human Resources. I mean, the Human Services, the Department of Human Services, yeah, DHS.
Right. So what the hell do you need to qualify to get a real marriage license? Don't you need an ID with your age and shit on it?
A state ID, a state a state, an official state given ID, and you need in certain states, and you need a copy of your birth certificate.
Okay, so according to the information that we already put out, that this marriage was not legit. I don't give a damn what you believe occurred and what didn't occur. The fact of the matter is, the clerk on the stand testified that that certificate that was printed could have been printed from any fucking location, right?
Yep, yep.
So, with that being said, if there's no marriage on file, no, even if a marriage did occur back then and it was under false pretenses, it would be invalid, right?
Right.
So this man ain't being charged for marrying no Aaliyah. That was all this whole propaganda storyline to keep people with the bullshit. And yeah, he did this, did bullshit. So why are we gonna keep going back and forth about the fact that the government did not prove bribery?
Facts. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If the government want to go that far and say that it was bribery, it'll be bribery on Demetrius Smith, not on R. Kelly.
But guess what? Guess what? He got immunity to get up there, and they got to change up the jury instructions to make it seem like, oh, these people could have been doing stuff, but not knowing they breaking the law, but still doing the shit, right? Well, that defeats the purpose of a whole criminal enterprise. That's what the fuck we talking about here. So again, when it happened to R. Kelly, nobody gave a shit. But now everybody want to talk about it when it comes to Diddy.
That's what I've been saying the whole time. And on top of that, I keep saying it. It's not what you see in the open of why they went and got R. Kelly and why they got Diddy. It's the niggas that's jealous of him that are turned into the unsolicited co-conspirators. It's the ones you don't see. And at the end of the day, the only way you can tell about the ones you don't see is if you sit back and evaluate. When Rob was home, you seen them. When Rob gone, they disappeared. Mm-hmm. Same thing and with Diddy. Then you got to look at who's trying to beat Diddy. Who's trying to be R. Kelly? Who controls what? When you control, Little Kim and them said it the best. When you got the power bring you respect. When you got the respect, you can control everything. How you control everything? With the money. Money, power, respect. Everybody gonna cater to you. But if you lose one of them three, you're a regular nigga in the street. So why is everybody after R. Kelly? Well, what story did you hear from everybody? I want my daughter to be a star. He's supposed to do a song or an album with my daughter. Then to make it juicy and for sympathy, and you go throw guys in there. Oh yeah, he messed with guys too. What? Since when? And they run with the narrative because Rob was touched, he gonna touch another guy. Now, come on, bro. Whenever you violate it and you don't want whatever violates you around you, really, especially in a sexual way. These people are butt-ass retarded, man.
Here's another issue I had. In most cases, when you have all these different victims, they typically have separate cases, right? They don't usually pile all these bad act witnesses to taint the jury about shit they can't prove, right?
Right.
So that was another conflict that I have that the general public is not aware of, that they compiled all these people together to make it seem like it's, oh, where there's smoke, there's fire type of scenario. When again, we gonna skip the fact that y'all put all this information out here that would incite people to want to come forth as Kim Fox solicited.
Facts. You're right.
And then, like I said, when it came to the allegations that Mia could be pregnant by R. Kelly, it's believable. But when she could be pregnant by somebody else, let's not even say it's done. It's this. But like I'm saying, if they stripped R. Kelly financially, isn't he just like a regular person?
Right.
So if I'm saying that if they could violate this man so publicly and so freely, what chances does a person like me have when the reason people don't understand why I screenshot shit is because people don't believe you. People would never believe the stuff was going on these platforms if I didn't screenshot and record the shit.
Same for the same thing I said. But I'm wrong if I record people. But ain't nobody wrong for trying to record me.
You know, the one person I wish the fuck I would have recorded was Cass Jones. I wish the fuck I would have, but I promise, I'm a woman of my word. I don't do shit like that. So
Man,
the fact of the matter is, if I had recorded her ass, shit y'all seen on YouTube was nothing. And just like how I deal with Miss Battle, I dealt with her the same fucking way. I can listen to what you say is going on, and I can give a balance to how I perceive it and how most people will agree. But when you have people determined to push these narratives and keep fucking with people on the internet, it should show you their intent. And that's why I let these fake ass people expose themselves when they come at me trying to make what I say a conspiracy, when I don't give a damn if you think it's a conspiracy or not. It's the shit happening. And it ain't happening to me. So who you hurting trying to debunk me? Not me.
and and you know why they want to make it a conspiracy? Because the things that you know and the people that talks to you, they wish they had that same field of open general information.
Yeah, y'all mad because y'all ran with the janky crew, and I sit here and I preserve my right to, keep shit under wraps. I don't have to tell y'all who I talk to and who I don't, but you can trust and believe I ain't gonna say nothing that I can't substantiate.
Facts. Facts. And it's just crazy because the Mockingbird crew just needs something to talk about. I'm gonna starve their ass to death, but they better go find somebody else to talk about.
Yeah, I woke up this morning. You know what? I'm done. I decided I'm gonna do this live. And for those that are lost and might have missed the information that has been provided all these years, you're gonna have to go back and catch up because I see the people piggybacking off of my shit, trying to act like I never spoke on the shit. But what you fail to realize is I ain't gonna keep beating the dead horse talking about the same shit.
Well, look, I'm direct. Audra, take my shit off your page. You got until tomorrow, 3 o'clock. I'm gonna put it off there. Take all my shit off your page. Since you defaming my name, take all my shit off your page. If not, I'm taking your channel and I'm putting it like that.
Right.
And Facebook is the easiest platform to take a channel from. So yeah, I'm taking your channel if you don't take my shit off your page.
Yeah, Miss Battle, you can come back up for a second. I was about to get ready and get off, but you can come back up for a final up.
All right, look, I'm about to go and let y'all ladies have it. I'm about to, man, this shit just got me mad all over again, bro. Like, yo, like, And another thing, please stop following me to all of my friends' channels. Y'all said that I was the problem because I was speaking the truth. So therefore, leave me and my friends alone. Y'all go find some other people. Okay? You know what I mean? Leave Prima alone, leave Shank alone, leave Amon Wiggins alone, leave Do Not alone. Y'all go mess with Gerald or somebody like that in North Carolina Beat or something like that. Shit. Leave my friends alone. All right, sis, I'm gone, but I'm going live tomorrow.
All right, see you later.
All right.
I don't know if you still got the link, Miss Battle. I'm gonna drop it again. And then we gonna close it up. Cause I did what I came to do. Cause people playing with my name and they got me fucked up. Cause I'm gonna come with some hot tea. Clock it. Ooh, my head hurting. Dead ass. Dead ass. Oh, you got your camera working.
Yeah, and actually, I
You
was
look
trying,
so pretty.
and I was shaky. I was trying not to be on camera, but it is what it is. Um, I see why. The reason I came back up is because I had to gather myself because as a mother, it's emotional.
Mhm.
I just wanted to say something. I know not everybody, and I know this is the R. Kelly sector, but it's one thing. It's compassion. Compassion. It don't cost nothing. And I
Mhm.
know they say never read the chat. I hear don't read the chat, don't read the chat. But I read the chat, and I'm like, there are some really insensitive people. It's put yourself in my shoes. Put yourself in my shoes, people. It doesn't take much to if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. It took a lot for me to get up on this platform, knowing that I'm on the side than the true supporters of R. Kelly. Whether it's true or not, I have no reason to come on a public platform and lie on anybody. I I don't know R. Kelly. You ain't never seen me on no television asking for no money or anything. I've never been to an R. Kelly concert. With that being said, I seen that some people in the chat were saying hypnosis, and even Dana said, get the F out of here. So with that being said, see, I'm about proof. I don't
Mhm.
make up things. So this is, if it's okay for me to play this is Don Russell. He was on Choke No Joke. So it's not like someone said something about chicken bone. I don't
Yeah,
believe.
I know exactly the live you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. When he
Yeah,
came out here saying so much and triggering so many people, it might
yeah,
seem so far fetched to some, but
yeah.
just pay attention.
Yeah, and the thing is, this come out of his mouth. So it's not like I'm just making this stuff up. I don't believe in no voodoo. I don't believe in any of that. I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. But this is Don Russell saying what he said.
That's what turned it into, I think, where we are today. That's part of which turned it into where we are today. As far as let me ask you a question, since you're right at that point. When you say that, you was trying to get everybody together,
I'm sorry,
wasn't it?
That's the wrong one.
They already dealing with their daughters already. It was not like this is Christmas 2018. And the goal was to get everybody. We're gonna do a party hotel, bring everybody up, the families that is, and then just do this whole. We would. It made. I pitched the whole idea to Robert. Said, "Listen, it ain't a bad idea for you to go and just get a couple songs and something done on the girls, and that way we can say that's what the silence was about. Nobody."
Okay, so that was the second thing I was going to say when he said that they can say that that's what the silence is about. First of all, Don Russell, if you ain't doing nothing, you all not doing nothing bad, why do you need to say that's what the silence was about? So that was something that I had mentioned, and I said I was going to send it to you. But the one about the hypnosis,
why do you feel he have
that's different here.
a sex problem? That's what they built them for. First of all, let's address the obvious. I'm sick of all these motherfuckers. I ain't his friend. I ain't looking out for. I'm putting out the obvious. And I did this shit to Rob. I went to Rob and said, "Bro, you need to." We had found this motherfucking hypnosis lady who did hypnotism. She was the best in the country. And when I found, I didn't know before.
So again, I didn't make that up. That's
Hold on, Miss Battle. Hold
yeah.
on, hold on. And because I was the main one in the chat that said
I know.
hypnosis, get the fuck out of here.
I know. That's why
I
I came
I
back up.
what no, because one thing about me, but I'm direct. Robert don't deal with hypnosis or nothing. And the thing about it is you should listen to that whole part. And because Don never came back and said, and I hate to even go like this because I hate that man. Don never came back and said Robert said anything. Don said that was his idea. So my question is, If that's Don's idea and he telling you that's his idea, just because that man came out and said he was connected and to Robert, y'all gonna believe that it was Robert?
No, that's why. No, what I said was this. Don Russell said that it was his idea. And if you go back and rewind it, I said, I want you all to know that's why Don Russell number one in the country. And he said it was his idea for why they can say that the young ladies was not having a relationship with their parents. He said we can say that they was getting some songs together, and that was the reason for the silence. That's what
No, Miss Battle, you're putting two scenarios together. No, replay the thing about the hypnosis thing and play it all the way through, please.
Oh, no problem. Oh, I can't play it all the way through. I only have so much. Hold on. So what you're saying, Dan, I'm just saying, just asking. So what you're saying that you don't believe that this man that came out of his mouth that he had gotten the hypnosis the best in the country, you don't think he did that?
What I'm saying is, I know for a fact that Rob ain't do it, and what I do know is that other people is putting their problems on Rob and making it Rob's problem, and not owning up to their own problems.
I believe, let me say this. I do believe that. I definitely believe that. But I wanted to say this too, and I'm going to play that as well. See, I'm here in the Chicagoland area, and a lot of people that's in the chat, they don't live here. They don't live. See, I live 7 minutes away from R. Kelly's Olympia Field home, his old Olympia Field home. 7 minutes down one street. I'm not in another state. I'm not on a computer just looking up some stuff. See, I'm here. I'm 3 minutes away from the hotel where they used to have the bus parked at. So that's why for me, I followed that when they was talking about the bus driver, because I'm like, wait a minute, that's 3 minutes away from my home. And another thing, I know I tend to reach out to. I don't reach out to you as much, Dana, but I'm saying, I've reached out to you a few times, and I appreciate your respect. But see, I'm actually running into the people that was in his circle, not online. I'm saying face to face, and I'm getting conversation, and my eyebrows go up to some of the things that they say, because these are people that was in his inner circle that are now basically saying they just pray for him. They don't condone things that he did.
Now,
So
pause
let me
right
ask
there.
you this.
These are also some of these same people we've seen, and some of these same people are giving her the impression that he's guilty of certain shit. So just look at it like that.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. But that's why I'm about to break this whole thing down. And because some of them same people, but that's saying, oh no, and just pray for him. Oh no, this and this. They're some of the same people that went to the feds and lying on him. And
Yeah.
because he didn't pay their rent, oh, because he didn't buy them a car, oh, because he didn't do this and do that. But back to the story that I was saying, can you play that audio, please?
I sure can. I sure can.
He had been molested as a kid.
Okay. Go back.
Why do you feel he have a sex problem? That's what they built them for. First of all, let's address the obvious. I'm sick of all these motherfuckers. I ain't his friend. I ain't looking out for him. I'm pointing out the obvious. And I did this shit to Rob. I went to Rob and said, bro, you need to. We had found this motherfucking hypnosis lady who did hypnotism. She was the best in the country. And, when I didn't know before I got into this shit that he had been molested as a kid. I didn't know that shit until I read his book. That shocked the shit out of me. And then coming to the realization that it was his sister. Like, oh shit. So now I'm thinking when I'm going through all these promissory notes and all this shit's collapsing on me, everybody else knew this shit too.
So that's all I got on that one.
All right, now watch this. Just that part, but that's all I needed was just that much. He's saying we, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I mean when I say unsolicited co-conspirators. He's talking about him, Keith, and Santee, and his mother. That's we. That's
That's the group that was put together. So Robert didn't put them together.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Keith and his mother put them together, and they brought Santee in. Just like, prime example, Don Russell, and before he went to jail, and many people and can look it up, John Holder was minding his business. Don Russell put out there, John Holder is a child molester. Well, they end up pulling John Holder up on federal charges and going back and reopening one of the cases that John Holder and was part of, that he beat as far as sex trafficking. He beat that. Now he's doing time behind it. Okay, Don Russell come home from jail. What did Don Russell say before he went to jail? If one of us get fucked up and the mission cannot be complete. If all of us get fucked up, then the mission fails. What was the mission? To make sure R. Kelly stay in jail. Don Russell come home. Not 3 weeks after he come home, Santee is in jail on SA charges on a 5-year-old. Make it make sense. Anybody that hold the key to Keith and Don Russell and telling the truth about what they really did and doing and up to is going to jail.
Some things it's like I want to share, but it's like
listen. That's what this live is for, right?
Huh?
That's what this live is for, right? And are we putting the truth out there, right?
But see, the thing is, because I know how much you support R. Kelly, you don't want to hear certain things. It's like I don't want to be attacked or anything from my truth when it comes to certain things that I have come across.
Enormous battle, and you got to twist it.
So are you hearing that maybe some of the things that you have linked to R. Kelly is more linked to the people themselves, not R. Kelly, and they're using?
What I'm going to say is, just like before R. Kelly got picked up, the night before he got picked up.
Right. And we talked about that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. I don't
talk about it.
You all want me to say, share that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, talk about it.
So the night before he got picked up, he knew that the feds were looking for him. It's upon his neighbors had told him in the Trump that the feds are looking for you.
Yeah, but he knew that the whole week though.
Yeah, he did. But the night before, he dropped his masters off somewhere.
Now, see, me and you talked about that. Watch this.
Dana,
and you said,
let me tell you,
you said he dropped his masters off, right? Watch this.
This right here, you can't trust me when I say this one here. Ain't nothing. Go ahead.
And you said he dropped his masters off, right?
Yeah, the night before.
Me and you talked about that, right?
I mentioned it. Yeah.
And you even mentioned, and the guy, you never said his name, right?
I didn't tell you his name. No, I didn't.
Right, and you never told me his name. One thing for sure, two things for certain. The night before he got booked, and you said he dropped his masters off. I don't know if that's what the guy told you. I ain't getting into it, but that's not my fight to go back and forth. I'm not going to sit up here and say what he dropped off, but I'm going to say this. The masters that people are talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is three variations of it. The ones that Don Russell stole is one. And the one that you talking about is how can I say without saying it? It's the country album. That's what he dropped. I know who have everything else. I'm not gonna say his name, but I know who have everything else, and I know what he was told directly. And I haven't heard none of that stuff leaked. But the country album was up there by where you at. And because that person has ensured Rob that he won't let nothing happen to that. Because Rob said he got something special for that album. So I'm not saying that you're lying.
Oh, it don't. You know what? I'm just gonna. Oh, you know, sometimes you just gotta say.
But I'm not saying that you're lying. But I had to clear it up because when you say masters, folks over here thinking about the masters. No, I got to clear it up. So, but
Yeah.
So let's just
I'm
pause
going to say this.
there. Let's pause there. Over the course of these 6 years, we've heard so many stories about this music being dispersed. We heard a story from Cash Jones. We heard the Olsen twins come out here and say, "Oh, Ethan got all this. Nothing's being stolen." We heard them say that. We heard Don come talking about he was in the storage with Keith and Santi. We done heard all these different stories. Now there's this new guy that has some of the masters over there. But then we see all this AI shit being generated right about now. And just to get on the record, R. Kelly can sue all these people copyright infringing his image, his likeness, and putting this AI
Yep.
shit. Keith Lattimore just sued some people or is in the process of suing right now. Just FYI.
Yep. But I'm going to say this real quick, then I'm going to get off for real tonight. I'm going to get off. And
Me too.
right. And Miss Battle, I'm going to say this. You are so hell-bent on R. Kelly doing the unthinkable, right?
Not at all.
But, now
Not
listen,
necessarily R. Kelly, people around R. Kelly.
Listen where I'm going with this. And Miss Battle is so hell-bent on R. Kelly doing the unthinkable that when people come up and give her certain situations, it's kind of hard for her to believe it because certain groups and entities have tried to beat it in her head that it was R. Kelly, R. Kelly, R. Kelly.
Dana, let me just say this. I am not a kid. I'm a grown woman. Okay.
Oh, I never said you was a kid.
No, what I'm saying is this. So I think for myself. Now, you know, I got emotional because I was talking about my and it's an emotional situation. But now I've gotten myself back together. I had to breathe a minute. I want to come back on because you keep saying that they beating stuff in my head. I think for myself and trust what I say. No, can put anything in my mind. See, what I'm going off of is facts and what I as a mother has gone through and what I've seen and people I know is connected. See, I haven't told my whole story. I have it's no way possible I can tell this whole thing on, such a short period of time. All I can say is, see, I live here. That's all I can say. I live here. I'm from the west side of Chicago, even though I did not dabble in a certain lifestyle, but I'm from the west side of Chicago, and I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that was connected to this stuff, unbeknownst to me. I did not know at the time. And I know a lot of people that was around him was right. That's what I do know. So
you're saying a lot of people that was around Robert and was right?
they wasn't right.
It wasn't right.
They
So
was,
question.
but the thing.
So question. And you was cool with them people though, right?
What do you mean cool?
Because you said that you know them. So
I
I'm asking,
I
were
knew
you cool with them or
from the
was you just knowing them?
people that I may have went to school with. And just like if you know of someone you went to school with that possibly had a connection with someone, you're gonna reach out
Right,
to see if they can
right,
have at
right.
least
But that's true. That's
answer
facts.
something. So no, it's not that I'm cool. No, I'm not cool with these people. What is that I know of them and I'm
Okay.
asking questions. But it's amazing how people know a lot that was going on, but they were just as involved. That's all. I'm just saying that they was just as involved. And
So
R. Kelly had a lot of people around him. And I don't want to get on here making it seem like I'm like for R. Kelly, for R. Kelly. No, if R. Kelly was wrong on what he did, I'm gonna just say that because I don't want to get over here and not, because I'm on this side and start I'm losing where I'm coming from. If he wrong, he wrong. Now, if he did what
right.
he deserved to be exactly where he's at. All I'm saying is, I just don't believe that he did all those. I do have like
So watch.
told family. You have a problem.
So question.
Told that family that when they asked for their daughter, he said they need to trust the process. And people,
See, that's the thing. See, that's the thing. People getting bits and pieces. All that trust the process stuff they said, man, but that's something that people would come out and say to make themselves look better. Listen, if you really, matter of fact, Azriel told you herself that ain't none of that happened. And she said it sitting next to her father. And she said, look, y'all knew where I was at. Y'all knew where I was at. Y'all used to call. Robert would tell me to call y'all.
let me ask you, Dana. The question is this, because
Let's go.
because I'm see, like I said, I I'm not like the other people that like to argue. I just don't like to do that. I like to
I'm
talk.
not arguing. I'm trying to have a
No,
civilized
no, I know.
conversation.
I know exactly. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know. I'm just not like those other people who like to argue. But I do like to talk about this thing so that we can kind of find out what the truth is. My question is this, and I know you can't answer this because you're not him, but I have been wondering why wouldn't he let them girls go home?
Let what girls?
Ashria, Joycelyn, why wouldn't he do that?
Everybody can go home whenever they want
No,
to.
but I'm saying this. Just like when Joycelyn's Tim Savage, his father was dying.
She ain't want to be around him.
Dana,
Do you
I'm
come on,
telling
remember?
you facts.
Hold
Dana.
on. Do you remember when the Savages did their little intervention or whatever?
Wow. Okay.
You remember that?
Well, no, what I'm saying is this. The thing is, regardless if they had a disagreement, you can look at the videos before
Mm-hmm.
she got with R. Kelly, and your eyes is the window to your soul. That young lady had life. She had happiness in her face, in
She
her.
got life now.
No,
She's very happy with her life.
you look
Right.
at that little girl, the young ladies, and your audience gonna be your chat gonna say what little girl. That young lady, her eyes look sad. What I'm saying is this:
What?
the father.
Hold on. Wouldn't you be sad if you felt like your relationship has your parents feeling like they need to keep attacking you and pushing these narratives onto you that you keep saying ain't true is embarrassing? Like, as a woman, I would not be sitting there comfortable talking to my father about having homosexual activities with
Now,
somebody else. And then on top of that, we keep skipping that R. Kelly cut Joy off at one point in time, in which she said in that intervention, she said she stopped talking to this man, and yet they ended up back together. When it came to Azriel, he sent her back, and the parents sent her back, and the damn assistants were going back and forth saying, why would they allow this? Why would they allow that they put all on social media? So that's what I'm saying. When it comes to certain things, as a mother, you have attached because of how you feel about your daughter. But when we bring out the character of the people you're sympathizing with, we're just letting you know they're playing on your emotions. We're
you know,
just letting you
yeah,
know that even though there's similarities, and even though even I feel like people behind the scenes need to be pulled out, it doesn't change the fact that I don't feel like just when it came to certain things that affected R. Kelly's case, he had anything to do with it. So when I began to separate R. Kelly from all the noise of what's going on, because at the end of the day, if we can't prove specific things, we should be mindful in how we address it. Because even as I said earlier, you and Dana, y'all gonna have a conversation behind the scenes. Me and you, we're going to continue to have conversations behind the scenes. But as the general audience is looking at this, you got to understand you're in the lion's den, and everybody's like, this has nothing to do with R. Kelly, and we're not trying to attack you. We don't want you on the defense.
Oh no,
I love you as a woman. I have utmost respect and
same here.
everything for you for even coming on my platform, knowing that you're in the lion's den. But
Yes.
the fact of the matter is, enough is enough. We want to get to who's ever doing what. We want to get to the source of the problem.
And yes, and you already know, Prima, when I communicate with you, I always say that I definitely feel like this is bigger than him. I do feel like it's bigger than him, and more people are involved. I do believe that. This is this. I do believe that, but I have to say too that just having compassion with that family losing their grandmother and their grandfather. And this is what I think about. I do think about this. When they came out and said that when the grandmother was dying, and finally, that the mother was, when I say the mother, I'm saying Miss Savage was saying, your grandmother want to see you, your grandmother want to see you. So finally, she was going to go see her grandmother when she was in hospice. And the fact that somebody had to go with her to go see her dying grandmother, and the woman pretended to be the mother, and luckily it was, people at the place knew that that wasn't the mother. And because that woman couldn't go in there, Joycelyn couldn't go see her grandmother in her last days. I thought that was cold. That was cold.
I
So
mean, it
I think,
could be, and that's something she probably will have to deal with as a
yeah,
woman when she reflects back on it. Because as a woman, like I say, just because people are your family don't mean you obligated to deal with them. Like even when my grandfather passed, because of the circumstances, I didn't go to his funeral. I went to his repack, like I went to view his body when nobody else was there because that was what I wanted to do. But I didn't want no affiliation with the family because of the choice they made to take him off the life support. So with that being said, sometimes people do things to push themselves away, and that don't mean nobody's holding them hostage or keeping them from doing it. They just make a decision that this is what I'm going to do. And it may hurt my family that I'm not going to go to the funeral. I'm not going to deal with them and this, and that. But they disrespected me as an individual.
I definitely
So
understand.
that's the only reason why I give you grace versus Tim Savage. Then they can go to fucking hell. But as far as you, I
Like I
give you grace.
yeah, and I just appreciate the respect that we have for each other, and so that your public know, this is the first time we talked, right? You mean actually had a verbal conversation, because it's usually like through message, and I just
Right.
appreciate this time. I'm gonna go back off now, and I just thank you, and I just oh, I gotta say this, another thing. What bothers me, what when it comes to R. Kelly, why didn't he could have told them girls, you ain't got to go home, but you can get to get out of here. Because when it came to his legacy, when it came to his name, when it came to all of this thing, why would you give up all of that for two young ladies? That's the mind-boggling thing that bothers me, and that makes me say this don't make sense. What is it about those two? What was it about those two young ladies that you will lose everything, your freedom, your
Think,
livelihood?
think of it like this. If you never expected those people's parents to get all the people from your past together, to get on the internet, to put all these like, you see what I'm saying?
But
If you
before,
didn't expect that, but you love these individuals and you feel whatever, how do we know that the parents didn't kick them out and they just sitting out here and ain't got nothing going for them? Like anything could be speculated upon,
that's true.
but you
But once
know.
once he saw it coming, and it's like your concerts being canceled, and your reputation is now on the line. You're being questioned. Why didn't he say, look, let's halt this right now? Look,
You want to know why? You want to know why?
why?
Didn't you see what happened with Azriel? and she felt some type of way, and it was all recorded how she was defending him so adamantly. And then when she saw things wasn't gonna go her way, how she joined right along in with the stories that were being told about her.
Look, if I was
How
him,
did he
I
know
would,
that if
uh,
if all this doesn't happen, now that it doesn't happen, now that he's in the position he in and he kicked them on out, they just join in line with the other bad act witnesses, right?
but you know what? On in closing, I sat at that trial for 6 weeks, 6 weeks, and his attorney, Bunjing, she said something. It's in the transcripts. What she said that people don't talk about. She came out and said, and pull it up in the transcript. She said, "I nor Mr. Kelly or anybody in my office denies that that was him on that tape." And it bothers me. It don't bother me because it's this is not, it's not me going through this. It's not me, but it's frustrating when I hear people say, "No, that wasn't him." That was when his own attorney came out, and it's in the transcripts. What she said. This was during the sentencing time. During the sentencing, it was February 2020, February 2023, when she said it in the Chicago during the Chicago sentencing. And she said the only reason he hasn't apologized, him come out and verbally apologize. She said because you all keep suing him. If you stop suing him, this is what she said. If you stop suing him, he can then speak his piece.
I don't recall that, so I'm gonna have to refer back to that because I'm also have to remind the people that everybody in the public, when they heard about certain videos and stuff, they automatically just keep going back to this infamous P tape. There were other videos showed. There were videos that allegedly showed him with nephew and one of the Jane. It was other videos is the point. So again, when we go back to the defense, we can't keep skipping around the fact that they were ineffective. So the things that they didn't argue, the things that they did argue, that's one matter. Okay, he could have addressed that the same way in his trial. He could have said, "Hey, my counsel was ineffective," but he chose to proceed with Nicole and them, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
it's a lot of things we could speculate about, and we very well will, but it don't change the fact that, like I said, I'll go back to review that part in the transcript because I ain't see that
yeah,
now.
and
It
that
because it'll also defeat the purpose and everything that his previous attorneys from the '08 trial had put on record. And when you go back and you realize that the video from the Chicago trial, they didn't even have the original evidence. They had to go back to the archives. So it's
and
just too, it's just too much. It's just too much reasonable doubt, and the fact that he had an ineffective counsel that triggers me.
the only thing is, if he would have come out, I'm not gonna say because his counsel said that he couldn't come out, but when we sat there and they played that video, we as the public, I was in the courtroom. As the public, we couldn't see it. They actually had it blocked off, and only the jurors was able to see it. But they did play it, so we, as the public, was able to hear it. The thing is this: if let's just say if that wasn't him, why didn't his counsel, Bunjin, come out and say that is not my client on that tape? She never said that. She came out and said exactly what I said. That's what she came out and said. So they didn't play the different tapes. They only played this one. Again, I know it's a lot of times people, are reading the paperwork, and I mean they reading what they see on the news, and they going off what other people are saying to them. But it's something else when you are sitting in that courtroom. And I was sitting in that courtroom, and I didn't, because I wouldn't, I seen R. Kelly online, and I'm gonna just say this too. I have a picture. Remember, I said I've never been to his concerts. I've never been to an R. Kelly concert. And don't get me wrong, I used to love Stepping in the Name of Love, Happy People, and Remix to Ignition. But in the community that I live in, there's a Toys R. There used to be a Toys R Us, and me, my daughter, and the gentleman that I was with at the time, we went to the Toys R Us, and so happened R. Kelly and his entourage and his two daughters walked in, and the gentleman that I was with at the time said, "There's R. Kelly. Let's go take a picture." We took that picture. I have one picture with R. Kelly. Now, no one passed me a number. No one passed the gentleman that that I was with a number. I can't say that. But what I'm saying is, this is a small world, and I'm here in the community where he lived, and it just said that all of this could have been avoided if somebody could have said, if he could have got up and said, "That's not me," but his attorney didn't do that. She didn't. She didn't. And I just wish that the full I thought I hung up. I just wish that the full truth will come out so that those you that support him, if he's been lied on, let those that fall that did those things. And if he didn't, I mean, if it's the truth, he deserved to be where he's at. And these young ladies need to come home. That's if that's the truth. So with that being said, Prima, you're a professional. I'm gonna tell you, I give it to you. You can you're a professional at what you do, and I hope you go far in what you're doing. And that's genuinely from the bottom of my heart. Chat, I know y'all eat me up, and I'm not looking at it, but I know you eat me up. But you know what? I'm gonna say this: even if you are, that's okay too. I have to learn how to deal with this. And plus, I'm from the west side. I got thick skin.
Yeah,
So
you saying a lot of the stuff that we saying. Why didn't they say that's not him on the tape? Like that's what I'm saying. We can agree on certain points, but again, we can't make these people do what they were
yeah,
supposed to have done.
yes, yes. Well, thank you. Look. I'm gonna get my butt to sleep because I gotta go to work in the morning. It's nice to smile. It is so nice to smile because it's not a night that I go. A night that has gone past in the 6 years that I have not done something that has to do with my daughter. But look, get you all some rest. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Lil Mac, where you go? What's up, Bullets Gotti? Everybody else in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Where you go? Where you go? Let me drop it again. Because I'm about to get up off here. I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for asking. I just had to do this little impromptu live. That's what I'm saying. I got to go back to this transcript because these fake ass people was out here reading the transcript and had Google reading the transcript and yeah. We're gonna have to go back to that transcript because I must have missed that. And if Jennifer Bonjean went up there and said some bullshit like this, I would have fired her motherfucking ass on the spot. But we're gonna get back to that. And I'm gonna let y'all know. What's up, Shakira? Lil Mac, you want to jump back up here? I dropped the link again. You want to close something else out? And I'm also say that it was just seemed like to me if it was him on the tape and he went through a whole trial saying he's not guilty, so the math just ain't math in here. When even his attorney wanted him to take a plea deal. Even his attorney was out here throwing him under the bus before Bone Jean. So I just don't know. Hell. Thank you, because y'all know I'm very sarcastic and they hate it. So I had to wear my shirt because I know somebody gonna have something to say. Why she did it? Why she did it? because I'm tired of all the bullshit I keep seeing on these platforms. And like I said, unlike other people, I don't have nothing to hide. I don't have nobody I'm trying to protect. Nobody. And if you don't see how I just spent the block all the way from the moment people came to these social media platforms advocating to the super fans inserting themselves with the janky ass informant over there and his selective motherfucking storytelling, you gonna have to catch up, because when I come out here and speak, I ain't finna be repetitive. I ain't finna keep saying the same shit either. Avenatti's in jail. y'all must have missed the memo. And he got 8 extra years. But the problem I have is, again, why can people recognize that he was out here extorting Nike and other people, but skip how he extorted or tried to extort R. Kelly? How can them damn janky Olsen twins come out here and tell us R. Kelly was basically getting stipends and shit, and the informant over there talking about he got the assistants, he got the managers, he got the bus driver, he got the storage. You've seen witnesses at his house. You have seen parents at his house. He said that. Now, can I prove that he did this, and can I prove that he did that? All I know is that he said that shit. He said it. And I think a lot of people feel some type of way, because if this case is reheard, and like Pimplo said, his daughter and other bad act witnesses get called back to the grand stage, it's gonna be a problem. That's why they mad. If you ask me, that's just my opinion. Because, I've just been spending 6 years on this platform spinning propaganda, because I can clock the bullshit they out here doing. I can sympathize with any woman who has been abused. I can sympathize with women who don't have the voice to speak up. And I can stand on 10 toes to let every woman know that Prima ain't no sucker. Prima gonna stand on business and gonna stand on everything I say. I ain't gonna straddle the fence, and I ain't gonna play no games. I ain't got time for that. With that being said, y'all have a good night. I'm gonna get off here. Catch the next live stream.